Hello everybody and welcome to Jeff the Pharmacist. So today I want to talk about who is the bad guy or who are the bad guys in healthcare. So this is something that comes up a lot, usually with patients. They tend to be upset at insurance companies. I think that's a natural relationship for conflict because the way that pharmacy benefit managers work now is they're often denying services to people. So as a way to control costs. So one thing that they do is if there's a drug that your doctor wants you to have you on and the insurance company doesn't really want you to be on that drug because it's expensive, it can be a number of things. It can either be because it's expensive, which is usually the case, and because they don't think it's necessary for everybody to be on that drug. They'll do something called a prior authorization. What that is that means that the doctor's office has to basically call the insurance company, maybe fill out a form or talk to somebody at a call center and go through some questions. And if they answer the questions properly, then the insurance company will often cover it at the highest copay available in your plan. And obviously this happens all the time. It's very frustrating for pharmacy teams because we want to just fill the prescription, give it to the patient, maybe counsel the patient, and get them on their merry way. The prior authorization adds an extra layer of problems. I like to sometimes I'll tell people that it's just managing disappointment. Being a pharmacist, we're often just managing tons and tons of disappointment. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Especially this year, there's drugs that are on back order. There's drugs that have been recalled. There's drugs that are constantly being requiring authorizations. Now there's if anybody is on pain management, they're going to have to do tons of prior authorizations just to kind of get the medication that they're used to taking. And patients don't like this. So I think usually the bad guy in healthcare or in pharmacy especially is pharmacy benefit managers. Sometimes I think that's unwarranted. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But I think it often is not warranted because if drugs weren't so expensive, PBMs wouldn't go through all this to try to control cost. If you look at new diabetes drugs, these Me Too drugs, often they're thousands of dollars a month for the insurance company. And then you have older drugs that are very effective that like metformin or glipizide or some of these other drugs, and that if the patient was taking it might cost $10 to $20. So often they'll try to steer patients towards those older medications. They're not necessarily better or worse. They're just older, and a lot of times sometimes those medications will get forgotten. Doctors don't want to write for them, and so we end up with having these really high-priced medications. And pharmacy benefit managers try to control that cost using the tools that they have, and so they're often the bad guy. And I understand that. I have customers tell me, hey, why are my doctor wrote it, why wouldn't it be covered? Well, the way things are now is it's just the people that pay for it are the ones that have all the control. And which leads me to an issue of pharmacy benefit managers consolidating, like CVS and Aetna are merging. CVS already has a pharmacy benefit manager. They're trying to buy another insurance company. And the problem that I have with that is that when you reduce competition in the marketplace, a lot of times the patients themselves will lose leverage. So I've noticed this year that now a lot of the CVS Caremark plans are requiring you to go to CVS. They're requiring you to go to mail order. But a lot of people can't navigate. There's a lot of people don't want to go to CVS. And if everybody's forced to go to one or two stores, then what happens is there's less incentive to provide excellent service. If your customers are forced to go to your pharmacy, what incentive do you have to provide excellent service to them if they're already being forced there? So that's a problem that I'm seeing. I'm seeing that with the Aetna CVS merger, kind of the aggressiveness of some of these pharmacy benefit managers. And we could be in an environment where there are two payers and everybody has to go to one or two pharmacies, and what you'll have is if CVS's PBM requires you to go to CVS, Walgreens PBM requires you to go to Walgreens. What incentive is there now to get you out of the door quickly, to innovate, maybe to innovate with delivery, to innovate with different, better, unimaginable services if the customer has to go to one place. So that's what I'm seeing as an issue that's kind of coming up now, especially with more consolidation and more mergers. So I'd say sometimes the PBMs are the bad guy. I don't think they always are. Sometimes the drug companies are the bad guy. They do things that I think are unethical, brilliant business things that they do. For instance, there was a propellant rule to basically to save the ozone layer. It required CFCs to be taken out of propellant. So any mist or whatever, hairspray, WD-40, whatever it was, they had to take out CFCs. CFCs is a chemical that can deplete ozone in the environment. Well, what occurred? Now, the FDA had an option to carve out an exemption for medication. You had all these generic inhalers. I'm taking Flovent now. That would have been, $10 or $20 prior to this new rule. The drug companies, they all created new patents for different propellants that didn't have CFCs. And now we're still under this system where all of the inhalers now are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's gotten way out of hand. A Flovent inhaler for an asthmatic is like $300 a month. You say, well, most people are insured, but it is better. More people will get access to health care if the prices go down, whether they're insured or not. PBMs are going to increase copays for people to help cover the cost of high drug costs. That's just what happens. That's natural. That's just economics. So you might have had an inhaler that was $1 copay. Now it's $50. And all that adds up, and some people are really cheap. They don't want to pay for it even if they have the money, and then they might wind up going to the emergency room. So there's a myriad of effects that occur. And so I guess what I'm getting at is there are kind of bad guys in the PBM world, but most people that work at the PBMs or that work at the drug companies are good people. They're trying to support their family. But I think as far as what is occurring in the industry, it is bad. I think it's bad that PBMs are consolidating. I think that a lot of drug companies are doing things that aren't innovative, but they're still increasing costs. So I'm okay if you come up for a cure for cancer and you want a lot of money for it. I'm okay with that. But if you take an inhaler that was been on the market for 30 years and it's been cheap and then you just make it expensive, I'm not really okay with that. So this is just kind of an opinion video. I was inspired to do it when I learned about this CVS-Aetna merger, but I haven't gotten to it, and I just got to it today. I know it's a little late, but I just wanted to talk about it. I hope you guys found this interesting. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. I want to thank you guys for subscribing. It helps me out a lot. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks a lot.